Om Namah Shivaya. Today we are here in Bali Chowki, Himachal Pradesh to continue the documentary series that we started on the life of IshaPutra, Kaulantak Nath, Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji. Today we will briefly cover certain aspect of Kaulantak Nath associated with this land, and Bhairavi, Mrigakshi comes the first and foremost in such association with this land. Bhairavi Mrigakshi is a Bhairavi of Himalaya, a supreme knowledgeable person in the field of Tantra, associated with Mahayogi ji, Kaulantak Nath. She is veiled in so much mysteries that even after becoming the supreme leader of a secret Peeth, Gupt Kul in Kaulantak Peeth, her identity remains totally shrouded in mysteries. Even her family members are not aware that the woman living amongst them is a supreme Bhairavi of Himalaya, supreme person knowledgeable in the field of Tantra. Bhairavi Mrigakshi also was called Apara, and Bali Chowki is the place which has seen a lot of association of Bhairav, Kaulantak Nath and Bhairavi Mrigakshi. Even though there were many Bhairavs and Bhairavis living with Kaulantak Nath at that time, but Bhairavi Mrigakshi comes the foremost because she is Mahashakti in herself. So today we would cover that part of Kaulantak Nath's life, and we would also see how an IshaPutra, an incarnation of Godhead, descends on this planet and becomes the chief, the lord of Kaulantak Peeth, and still remains in mysteries. How a Siddha is an adept in shrouding all his capabilities and moving among common folks of the village without giving them an iota of doubt that the person that they see going to school, living among them as an ordinary fellow, is actually a Siddha. So we will see how Kaulantak Peethadishwar moved among such ordinary folks, how he used to live on the outside, and what kind of homes he used to live, and try to understand how he moved among common folks and yet remain. Kaulantak Nath has started to come on national television, and a lot of people know him just because of the fact that he comes on national television. But coming on national television and the achievement associated with that is probably a minuscule portion of his grand personality. But since ordinary folks see ordinary achievements as big achievements, so coming on television and becoming world famous because of modern media, of YouTube and television, they consider him as a big personality now. But he's much more than that, and becoming a public personality is only a tiny facet of his real life. However, this place, Bali Chowki, is still very backward in technology and in modern lifestyle sense. You will hardly see any Wi-Fi, internet connection here. The television network is also very old. You have only around 15 or 20 channels here. People are also very much involved in their own rural lifestyle much. They're not exposed to a very global audience or global culture. So their thinking reflects in their opinion of Kaulantak Nath. They think that he is a person from Bali Chowki and someone similar to them, an ordinary person, and are not aware of the mysteries of the Siddha, which is very fascinating. So let us now move forward with this documentary and see Kaulantak Nath's life associated with Bali Chowki, his places, his homes, our ashram, the hermitage, and the mountains around this place, and enjoy the association.
As we are again back to where we again started. The first time we showed you Dharakhari, where Mahayogi ji spent his childhood days, and after that we are here in Bali Chowki, where he has another house. It's kind of a small market, but this is where he spent his childhood days, and this is the second part of our documentary of Mahayogi ji childhood days. Right now we are in Bali Chowki, and Bali Chowki is not that much developed. The touch of modernization has just begun here. This is just a simple place and not even a big market, but people have found their own ways for the trade. Here in Bali Chowki there are small shops and small villages. Small shops, and it's a small village, but when he was born it was completely a village. There was nothing here, but this is one of the centers for administrative work, so it makes it a little modernized and more developed in people's eye. But it is at last, at the end of the day, it's a village, and what can we expect good things or great things from a village? It's just simply a village, and this is where Mahayogi ji spent his childhood days. And today I'm gonna show you all the aspects, all the piece and parts of his childhood days spent in Bali Chowki. So I'm gonna show you all those things. Follow me.
Om Namah Shivaya. Today we are in a village, a rather town called Bali Chowki in Himachal Pradesh in India. The house that you are seeing behind me is one of the houses of Kaulantak Nath, IshaPutra's ancestral home. This house has a very unique history in Mahayogi's Kaulantak Nath's life. This house is the house through which the chapter of Bhairavi got attached with Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath's life. Today we are going to show you the house and perhaps tell you some interesting tidbits about the stories of Bhairavi and Kaulantak Nath. The upper part of the house is where Kaulantak Nath's parents used to live, his father and his mother and his brother. His sadhana kaksh, the place where he used to do his sadhana, is downstairs below. We'll take you eventually to there also.
Om Namah Shivaya. I'm going to show you something special that is related to Mahayogi ji and his sadhanas and his memories with Bhairav and Bhairavis and Agor and Tantrics. You see this green door? Inside it there is a small room where Mahayogi Ji used to live. This was his sadhana place or sadhana kaksh where he used to do his sadhana. And this has a lot of memories with him. He carries a lot of memory with this room because from the year 1998 to 2004, his parents were also not allowed to enter in this room. There was a sign over here written like no entry. Even his parents, even his parents used to come here and they used to serve lunch and dinner from here. He used to take the plates and he used to dine there. Even his family members didn't know what was happening inside. This was a very confidential room because inside it so many people practiced their sadhanas like Agor, Tantrics, Bhairav, Bhairavis. They used to come here and they used to learn something from Mahayogi from inside the room. So nobody knew this place, what was inside, not even his parents. And this room has a lot of memories attached to him because if there is something special about this house, it is his house. Another memory related with Mahayogi Ji is Bhairavi Mirgakshi. She's one of a very high level Bhairavi that Mahayogi Ji had companions with. She used to stay in this room, but nobody ever knew that she was a Bhairavi. She used to hide herself behind all these mysteries and behind curtains so that people would not recognize her. She was a Bhairavi from inside, but from outside she was a simple girl. Nobody knew her, what she was and where did she come from. They only know that she was a simple girl, and she used to live inside this room and she used to practice tantra with Mahayogi Ji. And I'm gonna take you inside this room and I'm gonna show you how it looked then and how it looked now.
So now I am going to show you Mahayogi Ji's room where before he used to do his sadhanas and with his guru bhais. So let's go inside and see what is there inside. So this is the room where Mahayogi Ji with his other companions, they used to do sadhana. And however, Mahayogi Ji left this house a long back. A long back he left this room. So it came under his family members. But and now they are using this room as a storeroom. But still, we can see this is the goddess photo, the main goddess Kali Mata, which Mahayogi Ji used to worship with his companions, with his guru bhais, with his friends. And we can see other photos also, like Shiva and Durga, and these are some scripts he made as this is a script of in Himachal language it is Tankri. This script is Tankri script, and we can see another script here. It is made by Mahayogi Ji. See, before there wasn't any paper, and he used to carve this script in it is of some wood, a plank, and we can see other things also. We can see some Gayatri Yantra also here, and we can see some pots. These are pots. These are used in worshipping, in Tantra and etc.
This sadhana room is filled with memories of Bhairavs and Bhairavis learning under Mahayogi ji, Kaulantak Nath, IshaPutra's guidance. There are a few very interesting articles of worship and stuff in this room that has stories behind it. And for me, the primary one is this beautiful handmade shivling. I'm told that it was made by Mahayogi ji and his Bhairavi Mrigakshi ji on a Shivaratri night when Mahayogi ji Kaulantak Nath was giving teachings on Agam and Nigam to Bhairavi Mrigakshi. So if you look closely, this shivling is made up of mud and perhaps some cow dung. So if you have some idea about sculptures, then you would know that mud and a little bit of cow dung would not stick together to form this solid structure, let alone such a beautiful shivling. So they must have had many attempts by trying to put the shivling together, and it will collapse because it would be too wet. So they would try it again and again to construct this shivling in its proper majesty. And then they worshipped this shivling on that Shivaratri night. If modern science progresses even further and be able to decipher whose hands has touched this shivling, then perhaps one day the secrets of Bhairavi Mrigakshi and who she was and who she is would get revealed. But for now, she still is veiled in mysteries. This crystal and this Rudraksh, I'm told that Bhairavi Mrigakshi used to wear on her waist as a sort of some sort of jewelry, a very spiritual and mystical jewelry. I find it very beautiful. If you look over here at the top shelf, you'll see that there is this steel container, sort of a plate, parat, in which very rare herbs from Himalaya has been collected by Kaulantak Nath. Right now, although it still contains those rare herbs, but since it has been stored for such a long time, it must have gotten rotten. And I can't really show you the content right now because there are certain rules and traditions associated with handling those herbs. So we'll have to just see it from here. Since we've been talking about herbs, I can show you something very interesting that Mahayogi ji has compiled and which will put some light on his personality in Katagol. Look at this catalog where Mahayogi ji has so carefully put the herbs that he collected from Himalaya and put it in a book form when he was doing his research and sadhana on Ayurveda. Mehendi. Very fragile but very precious. Another rare plant from deep Himalaya. Somebody who is interested in Ayurveda would find it very valuable, and probably it's like a gold mine for an Ayurveda sadhak. So carefully preserved. You wouldn't find something more valuable than this in this range of Himalaya, I'm sure. Such beautiful collection of all the rare herbs from Himalaya, preserved for future sadhaks to do research on. There's one more thing which is very interesting. This ghunguru. Not a lot of people know that Mahayogi ji, Kaulantak Nath, IshaPutra, is adept dancer, a Nataraj in himself. He has taught many Abhairav and Bhairavis of Himalaya various dances which even Apsaras of heavens know and dance. I'm told he has also taught dance forms which an Apsara called Menaka used to seduce a very famous Rishi, Vishwamitra. This is another article which belonged to Bhairavi Mrigakshi. She used to wear it when Mahayogi ji, Kaulantak Nath, was teaching her various dances. There is a bottle on the top shelf here, a sealed bottle which contains water, pristine water from various lakes and from various lakes in Himalaya like Chandratal, Suryatal and even places beyond that, which is unreachable for most of the people of the world. They have collected, Bhairavi Mrigakshi and Kaulantak Nath have collected water from such holy lakes for future sadhaks, because this is very sacred and very pure. And this time this documentary is being made, there is a special sadhana shivir being conducted, Mahasamrat Abhishek Diksha, anointment of emperor of kings. And during that sadhana shivir, this bottle, which has been sealed for quite some time now, will be opened, and all those sadhaks who will be participating in that shivir will be blessed, and this water will be used for their abhishek in their anointment ceremony. Very precious water and very beautiful occasion to open it. Although I must say it's rather unfortunate for us sadhak and perhaps for the future sadhak that Bhairavi Mrigakshi is not here at the present moment amongst us. But being who she was, she has left very precious gifts for future sadhaks, and this bottle of water, holy precious water, is one of them.
I'm going to show you something else. See this? There is a picture over here. Like the picture. This is Mani Mahesh. It's near Chamba. It's a picture of Bhagwan Shivji in ecstasy. And we can also see the picture of Bhagwan Shiv. And let me show you something else. And let me show you something very specific. Something that will interest you and will excite you and will also surprise you. See this trophy over here? We have only like 5 of them here. And in one it is written like Appreciation Award by Nehru Yuva Kendra, Kullu, Government of India. And this is also from Nehru Yuva Kendra. And these 3, I think he has won it in some sports or in some activities. I'm going to tell you one secret today, or one mystery that has not yet been revealed. Mahayogi ji has at least 300 to 400 of awards in his Kulu ashram. When he used to live at Kulu ashram, he had one shelf full of awards. The best thing about him is that wherever he used to go, he used to bring an award with him. He was multi-talented from the childhood days, because there's a saying in English, a child shows the man as morning shows day. From his childhood days, he was as brilliant as he is of now. And later on, his guru awarded him with the title Kaulantak Peethadishwar. And my personal opinion, is that Mahayogi ji and awards are just synonyms. And the award he has got is now not foundable. I don't know where it is right now, but but it's still like we only have like 5 or 10 of us. Everything that he has is now lost or got misplaced. And I'm also gonna show you something else. I'm gonna show you where he used to place his seat or asana for preaching or for his sermons. You see the place over there, the cement slab over there, the plastered cement slab. This is the place where he used to put his asana. He used to place his seat. And you see the place over here where the rug is placed. It used to be the place where his devotees used to sit and listen to his sermons. They were like 4 or 5 people, and they used to sit in front of him, and they used to listen to his sermons. And when he was in school days, there are like many people came here and many people went, but out of them 2 or 3 people were still come to this room and still is his disciples. They are still connected with him, and they still help him in his endeavor to reestablish the dharma. And this room is protected by one God, and you might guess who he is, but he's just in front of me. See this? This is the mask of Hanuman, or the God who was a great devotee of Lord Rama. He protects this room, and this place is Mandava Peeth, and this Peeth is a Tantra Peeth because it's the land of God Shiva. And with his Bhairavi Mrigakshi has made this place even more serene and even more tantric in their own ways. And this is how he spent his childhood days in this room.
Although there are so many more secrets of this room, secret associated in memory, secret associated with stuffs in this room, but we will perhaps cover them later on in our subsequent documentaries. But let me show you something which you may find really out of place amongst all the spiritual articles. This 2-in-1. Although Bhairavi Mrigakshi ji was one of the supreme Bhairavis of Himalaya, but she had this very idiosyncratic attachment with music. And even though Kaulantak Nath, being such an expert in music as an art form, as one of the kala, he was never interested in modern version of music from film industry or ghazals and such. But now he listens to all sorts of music, be it devotional, filmy music, even pop music, ghazals, all sorts of music. And the credit goes to Bhairavi Mrigakshi because she used to listen to a lot of filmy music from Bollywood, ghazals, and other forms of contemporary music on this 2-in-1. There used to be a whole shelf full of audio cassettes here that Bhairavi Mrigakshi used to listen to. And obviously, if Bhairavi Mrigakshi is listening to it, Kaulantak Nath would also get attached to it, and he used to listen to it as well. There's another item on top shelf here, a small TV. Kaulantak Nath never liked watching TV, and he still doesn't like watching TVs. I think it's there for Sadhak, Bhairav, who is living here, learning from Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath ji. And when Kaulantak Nath was not here, perhaps for their own entertainment sake, how to pass the time, they used to watch the TV. I'm sure if Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath ji would leave the room, fun would go away. So one would look for other avenues to keep the fun going. So perhaps they use this small television which is still lying over here.
So just now we have, you might have seen the inside room of Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra's room, and now now outside here. So now it has been constructed very nicely, Before here with Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra, there were 4 Bhairavis and some 4-5 Bhairavs. For them, we can see here 2 rooms are there. So this left side room, this was for Bhairavis, and this room where they used to do the sadhanas, this was for males, because males and females, there were for them there were separate rooms, and because as it has become modern, so they have constructed, renovated this area, and here before this is a wall, and it has some importance. The importance is before as Mahayogi ji used to do his sadhanas, tantra in tantras and various things. So somebody was, I think he was a mischievous kind of person. So what he wrote is, here he wrote one thing, that if anybody passes through this passage, he will be affected by tantras and mantras. So this thing was written in this wall. This thing was like this only for so many days. Recently, some 1 year or 2 years back, while constructing this wall, they rubbed it. Otherwise, they used, many persons, they used to be afraid of coming through this passage. And when they used to see the thing written here, the sentence written here, they used to feel that we should not pass through this passage. And when when Mahayogi ji and Bhairavi Mrigakshi ji saw this, they did not react much. So this was the place, and let us go up and we can see other things of Mahayogi Satyendranath ji, Kaulantak Nath IshaPutras. Now let's go upstairs and we can see the memories of Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra's house.
So this is the house. Earlier there was only one floor, the ground floor. This floor was constructed later on. If you will see, this house has not been constructed completely. There's still few things missing. And the walls do not have plasters, there are no railings. Perhaps in the future this house will get completed, because Kaulantak Nath's family rarely spent time here. They used to spend more of their time living in his ancestral home in the village rather than living in this town, relatively speaking. This wall on my right side was not there earlier when Mahayogi ji, Kaulantak Nath, used to live here. It was an open area. This is the government land. Right now we have this hospital here. There's a school behind this hospital where Kaulantak Nath studied for some time. So for going to school, he would run from his sadhana kaksh downstairs straight to the school and come back in the evening after school. So you can see the hill behind me. That's where his ancestral home of Dharakhari is. The mountain behind it is the holy mountain of Jogini Gandha, where Kaulantak Nath has spent much of time there doing his sadhana. You might have seen his video also on YouTube of his Shiv Tandav. He has done Shiva Tandav there and many other such sadhanas, very mysterious and hidden sadhanas there. Once it so happened that he was doing his sadhana there, and the folks of this place, folks around the village, they objected to it because it's considered very sacred and not allowed for people to go and stay there according to the local tradition of Devli. So they obviously went there and asked Mahayogi ji Kaulantak Nath to get up and go somewhere else and do his sadhana somewhere else. But Hatha Yogi's hut, nobody can come in front of Hatha Yogi's hut. His will, his resolution was paramount, and the village folks had to concede, even though the matter became very serious and almost reached the police also. But the whole world has to stop in front of Mahayogi's hut, and so it happened. Mahayogi Ji Kaulantak Nath did many sadhanas there in that mountain. Very, very sacred place.
Now we are here at Kaulantak Peeth Ashram. This area is the courtyard of Kaulantak Peeth Ashram, and you can see this wall over here. It's gonna be 2-storied and it's under construction. And you see the pictures over there. It's written Kaulantak Peeth Himalaya, where there is a picture of Mahayogis, and that's our kitchen, and that is the room. That is the room where our goddess, the goddess of Kaulantak Peeth, Kurukula statue is there. And we carried a lot of things from there, from the room that we showed you. We carried a lot of things and we have placed it in this house. And we're gonna show you everything that is related with Mahayogiji and with the Peeth and with this ashram. So I'm gonna take you above. Please follow me. So this is the door that leads to Gurukula's statue. I'm going to open it. Just follow me. See this room and see the ceilings and the walls. This room is the temporary location for Goddess Gurukula, because we're gonna make the main ashram at Dharakhari. That is where the real Kaulantak Peeth is. So we're gonna put it there. So let me show you the statue of or idol of Goddess Gurukula, and let me tell you something about Goddess Gurukula as well. She is the goddess of all miracles, and there is one specific way to bow to her. Let me show you the way, and this is the Kaulachar's way of saluting her. So it goes like this. Since I have done the bow now, let me take you nearer to Gurukula's idol. She is the goddess of all siddhis, and she is the goddess of all miracles, and she is also known as Red Tara. She is also worshipped by a Tibetan sect. They worship her as Red Tara, and she is the goddess of tantras, and she is also the goddess of brave persons. And you can see this one over here. These are made from the feathers of Lophoporus. In our language, we call it munal. So this is these are made from the wings of Lophoporus, and this is, let me show you this. This one cloth is called chunri or chunri. This is used to worship her, or let's say every goddess, because there is only one goddess, and all are the manifestation of only single goddess. So, and she's also wearing this diamond necklace on her top, and what else? And we can see here, this is her garland, and it has Goddess Bhagavati on tigers. on top of tiger, and in the and here we have the mosque. These are all the mosque of Bhairavs. We had done once. We had done Vaishvik Bhairav Sadhana at Soja, at Kaulantak Peeth, and ritual had it that we had to wear it and we had to dance, and we were like 24 sadhaks who were doing the sadhana. So we wore the mask and we did the traditional Himachali dance known as Nati. The Nati dance is the dance for the brave people. They hold a sword in their hand and they dance. And there's something about this mask, In science, won't believe this, but if you wear a mask, right? After some days, the characteristics of those the mask will get inside you. Like if we wear a Bhairav mask and if you dance, the attributes of Bhairav is gonna come to us. It's very superficial. Science won't believe it, but this is Tantra, and this is Kaulantak Peeth, and this is where Tantra rules. There is nothing except Tantra in here, and Tantra is the only thing that has to be known, and that will be known, and that is unknown, and that will be known. Tantra is the only way, and only the way for salvation and for everyday purpose. This is Kaulantak Peeth. Let me show you one thing. See this place? See this sittings over here? This is the sit of Kaulantak Peethadishwar, and this is where he sits in his asana. You can see here. And this is one picture kept in here, so that it reminds of us that this is his asana, and this is where he sits, and this is where he gives his sermons. And you see this umbrella over here. This umbrella is given to him by his gurus. Not this particular umbrella, but the title associated with him. This umbrella has to be with him wherever he goes, because this is the kind of a respect. He has achieved something in the Tantra field, and this umbrella should always cover him. Like people, they cover the kings, right? So he's the king of Kaulantak Peeth. So this umbrella has to be with him wherever he goes. And see this skin over there? This is a goat skin presented to him by one of his devotees. But in his childhood days, he had the tiger skin with him, and he used to meditate on that skin. But later on, he came up. He was known to this law about animal rights, that nobody is allowed to keep tiger skin with them. He went to his gurus and he agitated. He was the first person to raise the voice against this, because he had this saying, that if he's gonna do all these things, then the rest of people will follow his ways and walk in his footsteps. So to abide with the law, and also to be a part of this society, he used this, and he didn't put the tiger skin. And what else? And see, there is a yantra over there. There is some mystical. It's a yantra is known as a mystical representation of the deity himself. First comes the yantra, and after yantra, one step below of yantra is the idol. Kaulachar, they worship god and goddesses through yantras. Yantras means diagram, and with some mystical diagrams.
Kaulantak Nath Mahayogi Satyendra Nath Ji has been doing his sadhana since age 3. He became the Lord of Kaulantak Peeth, Peethadishwar, around a decade ago. But he has been doing his sadhana since his early childhood days. We do not have enough records or evidence or photographs of his sadhana of those early days. We are still looking for it. If we find enough detail, we'll show or cover it in further documentaries. But when he started to go in mountains for his sadhana, when few of disciples started to get associated with him, they realized that he is such a rare gem of Himalaya, very rare to find. You won't find a personality like Kaulantak Peethadishwar these days, a Mahayogi, a Tantreshwar, a Mantreshwar, a 64 kala sampan we call, adept in 64 kalas. So when those disciples saw this and realized the gravity and importance of the personality amongst them, they tried to record as much as possible in their capacity few things, few memories of his those days when before he was the Peethadishwar. Because now that he is Peethadishwar, leader of Dharma, you find many videos and photographs of him available on internet, YouTube, Facebook, and on public functions that he attends. But earlier, he was known only to very selected few sadhak, perhaps associated with him because of their good samskar of previous births. So when they realized the importance, they tried to preserve certain memories and certain photographs. We have some photographs here, some work that Kaulantak Peethadishwar has done in Takri here. But unfortunately, even though Kaulantak Peeth is such a supreme Peeth of Himalaya on the inside, on the spiritual plane, but in this day and age, in Kali Yuga, in this gross materialistic world, we are still a very simple Peeth on the outside with lack of funds to even keep these rare paintings and rare articles collected to be preserved for future generation. Eventually, when we have enough funds and resources, we'll try to keep it in a better way, perhaps preserve it for generations to come. So let me show you some of the pictures that we have here of Mahayogi Kaulantak Peethadishwar, Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra. This is the picture when Mahayogi Kaulantak Nathji got in Samadhi. You might have seen videos on YouTube that he was sitting in Samadhi for 13 days without getting up to even eat or go to the toilet or anything. He was just sitting in one asana for 13 days. He only knows what he experienced then. But this is the picture. This is the picture when he got up from his Samadhi after 13 days. This is Hut Yogi's hut in Himalaya doing tapasya. This is one of the pictures when he was sitting in Samadhi. So there are so many pictures. I won't be showing you all the pictures right now, probably in some later documentary, or you can see it on his website. But let me show you, since he is the supreme knowledgeable person in Ayurveda also, so there are some pictures of him handling certain herbs and plants, rare herbs and plants of Himalaya. Here Mahayogi Kaulantak Peethadishwar IshaPutra ji is handling, I think it's some wild tomato, if I'm right. The Lord of the Jungle, Lord of the Mountains, climbing up hill with bare hands, enough to put any rock climber to shame. I have seen him walk in the jungle. This is his picture from some public, is from one of his earlier sadhana shivir for general public. Very early pictures, I think. This is Takari, a script invented by a rishi called Takar from Kirat tradition. So he invented, and actually many more rishis and siddhas of Himalaya have used this to hide secret knowledge of Himalaya, of Tantra, Mantra, and various other things in a different script, so that not everybody can read and only select few and who are worthy of knowing these secrets will be revealed. We will cover these paintings, I think it's more than 108 paintings, in perhaps a later documentary, because it's very detailed subject. But just let me show you a few that I have here. As you can see, we are in dire need of resources and funding to help preserve these paintings, because these are masterpieces. Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath has made it by hand, and it's not in very good condition right now. We have to really get serious about preserving these paintings, because this is perhaps the last time Himalaya has sent an IshaPutra, descent of godhood, with such rare knowledge of Himalaya, of siddhas.
This is the ashram. This is the side view of the ashram, where Goddess Kurukula is kept. And I'm here. And let me tell you one small aspect, or one important aspect of his childhood and the philosophy of being an avatar. He lived at many places because his father was a government officer, so he had to go to many places because his father used to get transferred. So he did schooling in so many places, like in Bali Choki. He was here for like some time and did some schooling over here at Dharakari and at Lahul Spiti as well. But one thing has common in all this, that is his love for sadhana and his practice of sadhana. Wherever he went, he practiced sadhana, and in the ongoing battle of sadhana, he one day won the war and he became an avatara. He, like us, is a simple person. He's an avatara, right? But if you look at him from our perspective, right, he's a simple man with simple attributes, but with wider knowledge of everything. So the main philosophy of being an avatar, according to him, is that if a person who hails from a small village of Bali Choki can be an avatara, then all of us can. It's just that we need practice, and we all need perseverance. The more we persevere, the better we get. Even if we lose the battle, there is always a chance of winning the war. So the main philosophy of being an avatar is that you have to keep on walking, and by the grace of gurus and by the grace of Lord, anyone can become an avatar. And this is the main theme of an avatar. Avatars are made. They are made by gurus. So if you can be an avatar, we can be an avatar as well, and you can be an avatar as well. And this is not my philosophy. This is in his own words presented by me.
So now we are on the upstairs of the house. Down you might have seen all the things, this is the place called. The old name of this place is Mandavya Peeth, the house this land, this property is a higher property. This is the forefather properties of Kaulantak Nath, IshaPutra, Mahayogi Satyanath ji. And this everything is maintained by his mother and father. So this is not maintained by any other some trust or something, but all these things are maintained by his parents, his mother and father. So now this is on a construction stage. So here small rooms are getting built, and the center will be the center place will be for a hall. The downstairs hall you might have seen. So like that same type of hall, here one hall will be constructed, and the goddess that is situated there, that is there. So the goddess will be, they will shift the goddess here. Actually the goddess place is there, the main place of the goddess is there in the mountain.
So this is Bali Chowki, very nice view. Let me show you the location in a better way. The mountain right behind with just tree line at the top is the Yogini Gandha mountain, which we have talked about earlier also. Very sacred mountain. The mountain slope before the Yogini Gandha mountain is the village Dharakhari, the ancestral home of Kaulantak Nath, and place of Kaulantak Peeth, where goddess Kurukulla, Red Tara, goddess of medicine and magic, resides, her main place. Her Kaulantak Nath's old home is behind. This is his new home. His parents have constructed this home for Kaulantak Nath, probably in anticipation that the yogi, Mahayogi of the jungle and Himalaya would come and see his parents and be with them when he comes to Bali Chowki. Few sadhaks are also staying here. But Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath doesn't stay here all the time. He sometimes comes if some sadhak is staying here. Reason being the same why he left Kullu, because when he was staying in Kullu earlier, a lot of people started to come, just inquisitive people, some sadhak, some just out of curiosity, just to see who's this Mahayogi, coming from Himalaya, Siddha, living amongst them. So Kaulantak Nath doesn't really want his secrets to be revealed, because after all, it's a mysterious peeth. So, and he doesn't like to be among too many people. So he left Kullu, and this base shifted here. The goddess Kurukulla's Rath, her vehicle also came to this place in Bali Chowki, and along came Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath. He comes and stays here sometimes if some sadhak is staying, but nobody really knows where he stays all the time, because he is the man of the mountains. So he's a free man, the whole world belongs to him. So he keeps going wherever Adesh comes. So sometimes he's in this part of Himalaya, sometimes in Uttarakhand. Like that, he keeps moving on.
Let me discuss one important topics. Mahayogi always wants to remain in a mystery, because this is a mystery peeth. But instead of this, right, we see him in YouTube's, in Aastak news channel. Aastak is one of the leading news channels in India, and YouTube as well. And YouTube has an international audience. So Mahayogi, why isn't it like quite contrasting that he wants to remain in mystery, yet he comes in YouTube and Aastak channel? It's because he is the leader, he's the king of Lord of Kaulantak Peeth, and when he was a normal person, he had a life, and it was his private life. But when he has become Kaulantak Peeth, he has some responsibility for the society, for the country, and for the nation. As there's a saying in English, with great power comes great responsibility. Yes, he has got great power now, and he has been given a great seat, and with that comes a greater responsibility for his nation, for the place he was born, and for all the seekers, sadhaks, who are seekers of spirituality, who wants to gain something, who wants to know who wants to know what God is. He is like coming forward to teach all the people, to show them the way. He actually is not a spiritual leader or a spiritual guru like many of us, many guru that comes in the television. He is not like them. He's quite different. He actually comes front to guide people because of his responsibility, because he is now a Peeth and he has some responsibilities, and doing all these things comes in his duties, and that's where he comes, and he does his sadhanas, and that's what he does to impart knowledges of all kinds and help the society and for the betterment of the society. His Holiness Mahayogi Satyendra Nath is the Lord of Kaulantak Peeth, and Kaulantak Peeth has a big history, and this Peeth is run by some elite people, the people who have conquered everything, who are the masters of themselves. So Mahayogi Ji is not a spiritual guru. He's an incarnation. He's an avatar. He was specially prepared by the Siddhas staying in Himalayas, living in Himalayas, to impart the knowledge of Dharma and to show the society and the country a rightful place, a rightful way of towards knowledge and towards Dharma. Let me make you one thing clear. He is not a spiritual guru. No, not a spiritual guru by any means. Not spiritual guru. I repeat, he's not a spiritual guru, but he's an incarnation. He's an avatar, and he has come here to impart the knowledge and also for the revivement of Dharma. He was specially prepared by his gurus. His gurus gave him the knowledge of everything: Tantra, Mantra, Yoga, rituals, medicines, Ayurveda, and weaponry as well, so that he can come here and he can show the direction, the rightful direction to the country, to the nation, and also to the world, because Dharma is deteriorating day by day. So he is here with a divine purpose. So let's not treat him as a special guru and only listen to his sermons, pravachans, and just listen to his pravachans and just relax and do nothing. Now this is the time to act, and he has come here to lead us and to make us realize that we are a part of a dharma, and without us and without dharma there is nothing. So dharma and human beings are like they go complemented. They are the two sides of the same coin. So he's an avatar, and he has come here, and his basic purpose is for the revivement of dharma.
Right now, we are outside the Kullu-Manali tunnel on the National Highway. In front of me, the road takes to a small town called Ot. This road leads to Mandi. Bali Chowki, where Kaulantak Nath was born, is on the other side. When we cross the tunnel, if we keep going straight on the National Highway, we reach Mandi. But right after the tunnel, we have to take a smaller road towards the left side, which takes to higher side of the hill towards Bali Chowki and Banjar, where Kaulantak Nath was born. There's this lake right in front of me in this side, or town behind me, which leads to Kullu. This road leads to Manali. This whole area is Kaulantak Nath's area. This is right outside the Ort town on the national highway leading to Kullu Manali. This is the lake formed because of the hydropower project going on, the Parvati hydropower project going on this river. There's this Yogini temple right across the river for Yogini Akash Mata. Then on the other side we have another temple for Rishi Markandeya. You can see the Rudraksh tree in the temple complex from here. So right now we are at one end of the tunnel on the national highway leading to Manali. If you are coming from Delhi, you would come to this end of the tunnel and you wouldn't have to go through the tunnel. What you would do is you would take this road leading to Bali Chowki, where Kaulantak Nath was born. This hill above me is called Rudu Hill in this locality. There is a Yogini temple, a Yogini who lives on this hill, known by the name of the hill as Rudu Yogini. If you are coming from Hunter, if you are flying in to the Kullu Manali airport, then you would come to, if you are flying in to Kullu Manali airport and then you have to come to Bali Chowki, then you will come to the other side of the tunnel, then you'll have to come across the tunnel and then take a left to go to Bali Chowki on this smaller road. People of Himachal Pradesh, and specifically Bali Chowki, believe in a peculiar kind of spirituality known as Devali Parampara. Now, this Devali Parampara is very different from the true nature of spirituality, and these people, local folks, do not have much idea about the true nature of spirituality. So, when Kaulantak Nath used to go for his meditation session even, it used to look very odd to the local people here, and this whole activity used to become a subject of their gossip. So, to avoid all the public glare, Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra used to walk on these roads in the night for his sadhana. During those times, this road did not have much traffic as it is today. So Mahayogi ji used to take the cover of the dark and walk on these paths and go down to the river bank. You can't see the river from here, but there's a river Tirthan right behind me, below. We are perhaps around 300 meters above the river flow level. So he would go in the night through the bushes and go to the river banks for his sadhana. And he is very expert in walking in the dark. This whole area is full of wild animals also. Leopards, tigers, bears, all sorts of wild animals roam these areas. This place has a very erratic weather pattern also. Sometimes it rains. It used to snow a lot in those times. So irrespective of the weather, Kaulantak Nath sadhana used to continue. Come rain, come snow, or cold, extremely cold, nippy weather, Kaulantak Nath used to go on these roads for his sadhana. Even the Bhairav and Bhairavis and other sadhaks from different sampradaya, different sects, like Giridharanand ji, along with Bhairavi Mrigakshi ji, used to come with Mahayogi Kaulantak Nath ji for his sadhana, accompanying him and they used to also do their sadhana along with Mahayogi ji in the night.
Right now I am at Bali Chowki Market. You see the shops over here? This is one of the shops of Bali Chowki Market, and beside me there is an inn, and there is a gentleman over there who is making his dinner. And this Bali Chowki is a very small market. There are just handful of markets over here, and people are living very happily and just they are just passing their times doing their own duties and getting involved in small scale industries and business. Not much of a big thing happening over here, but it still is Bali Chowki, and it still is the birthplace of Mahayogi ji.
Om Namah Shivaya. So till now you might have seen different aspects related to Kaulantak Nath, IshaPutra, Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji. So Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji stayed in different villages. Till now we might have presented 2 or 3 villages that in those villages where Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji spent his days. But actually he spent a lot of time in different villages. Every person knows, most of the person know about Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra as an ordinary person only. And in future we will take you to those villages and even those places in the Himalayas where Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji used to do his sadhana, his yoga, his meditation. And as per Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra, every person should be a complete person. Every person can become an avatar. Every person can even become God. As per Kaulantak Nath, what is a completeness? Completeness doesn't mean that you have a job, you have a good family, you are in a very good position like a political leader, or you are an engineer, a doctor, or you are having lots of person working under you, or you are a big owner. It does not mean completeness. Completeness means from inner side. It is, as we call in Hindi, bhog and moksha. Bhog means bhog means exactly the meaning of bhog means as per Kaulantak Nath. Bhog means the sansarik jivan, the normal life which we live, surroundings, etc. And moksha, it is totally a spiritual. A person should be complete in both bhog and moksha. Then only he becomes a complete person. And in future we will come back with different things related to Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra Mahayogi Satyendra Nath. And even sorry to say that I don't know that much English. I could not present the aspects of or the things of Mahayogi Satyendra Nath ji clearly. But as per the request from foreign, from other than India, that those things, the documentary, whatever it is, it should be in English. So we tried our level best to present you in English. So, and if the viewers who are seeing us, if anything is wrong, please forgive us. And in future we will be back with much more interesting things, with much more interesting articles and events related to Kaulantak Nath IshaPutra Mahayogi Satyendra Nath. Till now, Om Namah Shivaya from our whole team.